Welcome to the 702 Gaming Podcast, episode number 27. I'm your host, Jacob, and I'm joined today by Jason.
I'm back.
He's back.
Been
What's your
gone.
official position with the podcast besides co-host?
I do the editing, the graphics, all the upload, the audio part of the editing as well. Anyone who knows me knows I hate audio. And all around good guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that. I'm a good guy.
Well, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work for
Thank you.
the videos and audio. Yeah, I
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Comes
man.
together nicely.
Appreciate you.
We're working on right now actually a short video review of the Steam Deck, so
I'm
putting in
excited
some work
about
on
that.
that. Yeah, thank you.
I
Thank
am.
you.
I cannot wait.
Well, today we're actually going to be talking about the Steam Deck since I got my hands on it. Yours is still on pre-order.
Yeah. You're the only person I know that got their grubby little mitts on the Steam Deck so soon. You're almost the guy who has a PlayStation 5.
Almost.
Almost. Let's not go crazy.
Yeah,
Right?
don't go that far.
Nah. But yeah, you're the only person I know that has one. I got the second tier, but I'm pretty sure we got them on the same day.
We did
Yeah. So something's
put
up.
down our yeah, so if you haven't pre-ordered one of these, what you do is you get in a queue to be able to pre-order it. So it's like you're pre-ordering a pre-order and you have to put down $5 uh to even get your name in line. And then they email you when it's ready and they go, you have 2 days to pay for this thing, or it goes to the next person.
Yeah, I actually just found out that there's the 2 days or this message will self-destruct email that you get. I didn't know that, so that's causing
Yeah.
me to check, this email that I've had for 22 years that I'd never check anymore. It's just kind of locked to my Steam account. So now, like every day, I'm like, oh my gosh, cool, something from Best Buy. I don't care about that,
It's like a net zero email.
right? It's a Tyrannosaurus sex at yahoo.net. I'm kidding. It's not that. It's not that at all. I'm sorry. Uh, don't email that.
Yeah, okay.
I won't respond.
Yes, so there's three tiers of the Steam Deck.
Yes.
The only difference between them is the memory size and speed. And then the highest tier has an anti-glare film on the screen, I guess.
Yeah, it's like an anti-glare and like an anti-scratch something or other in case you want to
Okay.
take a hammer to it.
Yeah.
'Cause people do that. Honestly,
Yeah.
people do that just so that they can get clicks and likes and whatnot. So
Yeah.
if
I
you're
don't know if
that
I'd spend
maniac,
that much. Yeah, for that. But yeah, so like I pre-ordered the cheapest version, the 64 gigabyte, so it has hardly any memory in it. It's supposedly the slowest memory, but I haven't had a problem with speeds on it.
that's good.
Yeah, all that's just feels normal to me. You can upgrade the storage space with a micro SD card,
Hmm.
which I got off of reviews on Amazon. I got a decent one. It's only 128 gig, but it was $16. I mean,
That's not
you know,
bad.
and it's big enough to hold two real games on it,
Two
which
real
I'm okay
games.
with. Two real games. Yeah. So we'll talk about that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested in what you mean by that.
But so the introductory model that I bought is $400. And I think what it goes up to like 520 or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's the 64. I think the one that I'm getting is
500 gig or
256.
something.
I
Oh,
think it's
256. Okay.
256, and then the highest one is the 512. I'm pretty sure that's what
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
I mean,
supposedly the speed gets a little faster with each one, but
right. I think once you get either to the second tier or past the second tier, you're getting a different type of um, memory card that you're installing the games on. So, and I'm probably screwing this up. I think it's an NV.25.
okay.
So the speed on that memory is a lot faster. Like the access speed is faster. So, assumably your load times will be quicker and things like that. You know, I think if you're one of the newer gamers who's used to like this must load right now, if not, I lose my mind. Right? If you're one of those guys, then that's going to be a huge deal to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you come from the era as an older gamer, right, where I remember the memory speed on the original PlayStation was so bad that in Mortal Kombat 3, if you picked Shang Tsung and you went to morph into another character, the entire game paused for about 5 seconds just to change you to that character. And then when he was going to change back on his own, it would pause again for another 5 seconds of gameplay and then, pick right back up. So load times, I can deal with them. Like as long as that's not happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these new systems and the solid state drives in the computers and the new consoles are very nice quality of life upgrades.
They are. They are.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that
Which this is using a solid state, but
it
right, correct.
is.
Even mine is, I think it's just a slower version.
Just slower speeds. There's mechanical hard drives which still have a
Hmm.
place. Especially if you're talking like your NAS, like network drives and things like that. That's fine for like mass storage. But when you
Hmm.
need that quick load, that speed, you do want to get a faster drive. So I understand the allure of that. But thinking about handhelds, the newest handheld prior to the Steam Deck was the Switch. All right.
Right.
There's load times on it. It's what it is. It's not a big deal. Now, this is me speaking out of turn because I don't have the Steam Deck yet, but I highly doubt that there's going to be a major difference in the load time on the Switch as opposed to a game on the Steam Deck.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, at least the model I have, it does feel very similar.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad you brought that up because I have, if you're watching on YouTube, I have our Switch right here, right? You
In
can
case you're
see
not
this.
watching, he's lying. He doesn't have anything in his hand. Yeah, nothing's even
Yeah.
happening right now if you're just listening.
But you could see about the size of it, right?
Yeah.
Um, this console fits great in my hands. The Joy-Con controllers, I've never been a huge fan of.
Right.
I don't dislike them. It's just they're so tiny, you know.
Especially the D-pad. The D-pad with those like the
Yeah, with
button
the
D-pad.
it's actually buttons.
Oh,
Yeah, like yeah,
horrible. Yeah, that right
yeah.
there. That is the
Great
worst D-pad.
console though. Still love the console. Um, we have this. I just want to show this real quick too. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a retro style Nintendo
This is
Switch.
this is why I'm here.
So cool. I mean,
Literally
it
this.
feels just like the old ones,
Oh,
except
that's so
it's
awesome.
wireless. It can slide into the side and charge.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
awesome.
Is that
The
a
only
8-bit dough? I think it is.
the
The
style,
manufacturer.
uh, I don't know. On the back, it does not say. It just says Nintendo controller.
I've never seen that before. And again, in case you're not actually watching, nothing's happening. He doesn't have anything in his hand.
Nothing at all.
Nothing
No,
is
no.
even going on. No, that's nice. I haven't
It's
seen one
really
of those.
cool. But because it only has the original buttons, you can only use it for old school games, really. Otherwise, you're missing like four buttons
I'm good
on
with
each
that.
side.
I'm good with that.
Um, but right here, I do have the Steam Deck, and you
Woo!
can see it is larger.
That is lovely.
Let me see if I can like compare them. Yeah, you
Wow.
can see like the Steam Deck popping out from behind,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There is a difference
Um,
there.
you get a much larger screen because yeah, you can see the screen size is just
Yeah.
it's quite a bit bigger. Um, I would say weight is about the same. Maybe if anything, just slightly heavier, but they feel pretty similar. This one obviously doesn't have the controls that pop off, but all the buttons I would say work really well on this. I
Nice.
really enjoy the trackpads.
That was my thing. I wondered how
I wasn't
responsive
sure.
that is, and do you feel like you can really utilize that for like a mouse?
Yeah. So the best use for it for me was like a mouse. I
Okay.
didn't like using it because they initially showed like you could use your aim stick, right? And
Hmm.
then when you're ready to like maybe get a snipe in, you will zoom in with this or something.
No, no.
That has been a little difficult for me.
Oh no.
Um,
I don't want to do that.
yeah, I don't like using it as my left or right joystick. I like using it as a mouse
Okay.
or something to select. So on a game like what's it called? Kingdom Kingdom Rush.
Hmm.
Um, it works way better with the trackpads than the other buttons because you're using it like a mouse. You can also
Okay.
touch screen. It's a touch screen as well, so you can do it just like a mobile phone if you wanted to play a game like that. But I really like these. Um,
That thing is actually it's fairly sizable. It looks like a Atari Lynx. It's it's kind of
yeah,
big.
it's serious. Like this Series S right here in my hands,
Yeah,
basically.
that it almost if it doesn't look like the Lynx size wise, it almost looks like the Game Gear like thickness,
Yeah,
right?
it reminds me of Game Gear,
Okay.
except the Game Gear had a screen about this big on it.
Hey man, watch it. Okay, I didn't
It
come
had the
back for that.
smallest screen.
It was pretty small. It was pretty small. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Uh, so far everything's great. If I had to complain about anything, which you can also watch my review, but the light comes on when you plug it in, right, with the USB-C charger.
Mm,
The light comes on, but it doesn't change color or turn off when it's fully charged. So the light just stays on if it's plugged in,
oh,
which okay, it's whatever, but there's a lot of times I go to check it and I want it to have a full charge before I go. Well, now I got to turn it on to check the battery
okay.
because the light isn't indicating it. So I got to boot it up. It's a computer, so it doesn't take long, but it's like I got to sit there and boot it up and then I want to shut it back down so I could put it in the case and then
Mm.
take it with me. That's just a little thing, but it's
These all
not a huge
sound
deal.
like first world problems. I'm just saying, right?
Very,
That's
very. Yeah. Yeah.
no, it's that's nice though. I again, I haven't seen one in person yet, so it feels as if just looking at it looks like you can kind of grip underneath it some, whereas the switch is smooth in the
Yes.
back.
Yeah, so this one wraps around like a controller.
Okay, yeah,
And so it's easier to hold than the Switch for me, for my
nice.
hands. And I've seen on other videos, some people had a hard time pushing these buttons. I don't
Hmm.
know if it was their hands were bigger or smaller, but it actually lines up like perfectly with my fingers. I haven't really used these buttons in any games yet.
How many buttons are underneath?
Four, two on
Okay,
each side.
nice.
And then we got the two triggers, the two bumpers on top. There's actually a lot of buttons on this thing.
That's what
You
it's
got the
looking
two
like.
buttons for the volume.
Uh-huh.
You have the power button or the sleep button, either way. And then on the front, you have the two joysticks.
Hmm.
You have the two track pads, which are like a mouse pad that can click in and go up and down and everything. Then you have a menu button here and another menu button here, which is kind of like your start and select for
Okay.
video games while you're in the game. For the actual operating system, you have this Steam button here, and
Okay.
you have like the hamburger or the three dots here.
What about
So
the joysticks? Are they also push
they
button?
can they can click as well.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is a lot of buttons. That's
it's
more
a
than what I
lot.
thought.
So and the thing is, when you download a game on Steam, unless it's already set up to use those buttons, you'll have to, configure it.
Okay.
But so far, the games I played, I've only played a few games. They've worked really well. And like I said, those games didn't even have enough buttons to use for me to use these back ones. So just
Okay.
using the face buttons, I was able to do it. I started off with Kingdom Rush, which is just a tower defense mobile and PC game.
Mm.
It's a really fun one, but it's nothing to, impress you with. But I gotta say, usually when you play it on a mobile, you're on this small screen, and so you have to zoom in and out of your map as you're setting up your towers and fighting off waves. But because the screen is so large, it's full screen. You see the entire map on the screen at one time, so you never have to zoom in.
Okay.
Um, Screen is really good, really clear, bright. I haven't had any problem with the screen. I've played it outside in the sun. It does obviously get harder to see with the bright sun, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask the brightness of the screen because that's a big thing for me. Like and this is not even video game related, but I do a lot of drone stuff for work,
mm,
and you need the absolute brightest screen that you can possibly find. Or they make little hoods to go over it so that you can be, in the sun with it.
right.
That was one worry I had about that because the Switch to me is actually pretty dim if you're outside.
Yeah, I would say it gets brighter than the Switch, but as you get up to those high brightness settings, it does kind of wash out the picture. So if you're trying
Mm,
to play something for the graphics or anything like that, you might not want to play it outside.
okay.
But you can still see it. It's just a little washed out, you know?
I mean, I'm probably not really playing outside, in the Las Vegas sun,
Right.
118 degrees. I don't know if it's weather rated, but you
Well,
never know.
that's what I was worried about playing outside was this thing gets really hot
Mm,
and you can see right here is the intake.
hmm.
And so you got to be careful. I do like that it's when you set it down, it sits up on its handles so that
Right.
it can get air in and it shoots out the top here.
Okay.
The fan does get loud and it does blow hot air out of this the whole time you're playing. Um,
Well,
the heat doesn't hit your hands though because they're all the components are in here. So that's really nice. The handles are stay nice and cool while you're playing. If you had to hold it down here, it would be pretty hot.
okay.
But I was worried about that playing outside. Is the outside weather too hot and this thing already gets hot? So I
That's a
don't know how often
legitimate
I'll play.
concern. If
Yeah.
you, depending on where you live, us in Vegas, people in Arizona,
Yep.
that's probably it. We're the only locations that are like the surface of the sun. So, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
legitimate
you're
concern.
up in Alaska or Canada or something. You'll be good.
Yeah, you're probably using that for warmth. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I don't have to chop wood anymore.
Right. Just play my Switch or my Steam
Yeah,
Deck.
just play my Steam Deck.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like the fact that it has the intake as well. Not that I can see this being a big issue, but just coming from a PC background, I wonder if you're capable of cleaning it because intake means it's going to get dust in there.
Very
So
true.
when that inevitably happens, what do you do? Are you just sticking, that little hose in there and blowing the dust out the top? Does that damage the fan? I've seen, online people open them. It doesn't look like the most user friendly thing to do, So as far as replacing pieces and parts and or cleaning the insides of it, I wonder how that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the type of person that opens my stuff up to clean it besides a PC or something that I built.
Right.
But yeah, like my laptop, I would never open that or my Xbox or anything personally just because I
Right.
know I would screw it up. But someone like you probably could
I
just get
wouldn't
these
open it.
screws off the back
I
and
wouldn't
you
open it.
wouldn't either?
Oh no,
No?
I want to open yours.
Oh, okay. My Steam Deck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to open mine. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just gonna open mine and just
Yeah.
leave yours shut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do.
I don't know if it voids a warranty or anything opening these, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I want to say I read something about that only because it does have upgradable parts. Not a lot, right?
Gotcha.
And we're also in the realm of Nintendo and those stupid Joy Cons, right? With the
Yeah.
analog sticks. So, in case Steam learned anything from them and they don't want
Yeah.
to have to deal with the drift lawsuits, maybe they make them, possible to change. And if they do, you've got to be able to open it.
And that's one thing I do like about the Switch is that these come on and off and you can replace them because one thing on all my controllers, no matter what brand, it's always my sticks that go first. Either
Really?
the rubber wears off, they get drift,
Mm.
there's always something with the sticks. And since the sticks are
Well,
built in, I'll have to take it somewhere if I want it replaced.
that is true. You could just take it over here, right? Because I want to open it anyway.
Let you open it.
Yeah, just
Okay,
let
I
me
got
open
you.
it. Yeah, it's funny. I've never had any issues with any controller that I've ever had. Even analog sticks with my Switch is fine too. I know there's tons of issues with the drift. I personally have never had it happen. I won't. Maybe the only controller I've ever had an issue with were like the old Atari 2600. Everyone had a problem with those, but like
The ones that
analog sticks,
crinkle
yes, it makes that
when you move
like
them, it's like
accordion sound.
yeah.
Those are the ones. And you just bought another one. You didn't try to open that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I've never had any issue with them, so I'm hoping the same thing once I finally get that. If I've been able to weather the Nintendo Switch storm, I think I should be okay with.
Yeah. We haven't had Switch problems either,
That's good.
actually, with our Joy-Cons, so that's good. We don't put as many hours into it as we do our other consoles though, or our PCs, but
Mm-hmm.
that could have something to do with it. On the bottom, and I think every model has this, right? So even if you get the biggest memory model, you can always just click in this and take out the micro SD, which is super tiny.
Yeah, it's almost like it's micro.
It's almost micro.
Right. When you
But
put it in the screen like that,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you
But
can find these 1 terabyte on all that, and you can add that to your Steam Deck as well. And on my review, I um, show kind of the first installation of it, where you format it.
okay.
Um, yeah, nothing too crazy.
I think it looks really good, and again, I can't wait to get my hands on one on
Yeah, I
mine.
think you're
You
really
know.
going to like it. You can go to the Linux desktop and you can even install Windows or whatever you want to do on it. I'm going
Hmm.
to keep mine casual and just when you first turn it on, you're on just basically a home screen or the store of Steam.
Right.
And to get to the desktop, you have to select that. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna, like I say, just keep mine casual. Um, the games I've played on it so far, the first game I played was Kingdom Rush, and that was because I got the 64 gigabyte model. And as I told you earlier, when you
Hmm.
turn it on, you only have 44 or something gigs available to use. So I
Really?
couldn't,
It
yeah,
that takes so the operating system is taking up almost 18 gigs.
it was something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than what I
So
thought.
I had a hard time looking through my library and finding a game that even fit on 40 something
Something
gigs.
small enough, right?
Yeah. Couldn't
Ugh.
even, I couldn't find one. So I bought Kingdom Rush because it was on a sale.
Okay.
I knew I liked the game already.
Mm.
So I put the first about week of having the Steam Deck just playing that. When we're watching TV or something, I'd just be playing Kingdom Rush. Really enjoyed it. I was initial impressions of the Steam Deck, even with such a simple game, I just really had a good time. Um, then I got my SD card in the mail, and then I installed Payday 2.
Hmm.
Messed around with
Great game.
that.
Great game. How did it
Great
run?
game, yeah.
Because it's
It
not really
ran.
system taxing.
Okay, it's not. Okay,
Mm.
so it still took up like 60 something gigs,
Okay.
but it looked great and it ran great.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was
Cool.
surprised at how well a first person shooter felt on it. I wouldn't say it's perfect. And if you're used to using a mouse and keyboard, you
Yeah.
might not want to use it. It's more like using the controller, obviously.
Mm.
But it was fun.
I could imagine that works perfect for you because we've played the game together, on the PC, and I'm using mouse and keyboard, and you're using a controller, which is always like, what? That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. And you're a
And
good
I'm like,
shot
what? You're
with
on.
the controller. It's like because normal. I'm sure there are people who disagree with this, but ordinarily you can tell when someone has a controller
Yeah.
and you're on the PC because they're not going to pick a sniper. They're going to pick, an automatic.
Yeah.
And when they are starting their shots because they're like, da, 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 da. Like, I'll get them with some of these shots, that type of
Pray
thing.
and
So,
pray.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much so. So, yeah, to me, you're probably right at home with it.
Yeah, it does. It feels good.
Nice.
The graphics don't have to be turned up crazy high on
Hmm.
it because the screen is only that big. But because
Exactly.
it's only that big, it looks really clear
Yes.
and the resolution looks really nice. It's cool.
Well, I had that conversation with a lot of people too that are like, well, why isn't it 4K? Like, why does it
Yeah.
have to be?
Yeah.
Right?
There's really
Like,
no reason to be on this.
there's not. Like, this is something I deal with, and I'm still dabbling in my past career of being a video engineer. And something that you realize with engineering LED walls is the pixels matter, but the distance to those pixels matter. So if you have a 20-foot wide wall and you're standing 5 feet from it, it looks like crap. But if you're standing 50 feet from it, where it's more manageable for your eyes to soak it all in, it looks spectacular. So
Yeah.
same basic thing. If this is a 720 screen, but the screen is about 4 inches, it looks spectacular. If that
Absolutely.
screen is 14 inches and you're like, this doesn't look so good, it's very blurry or it's very pixelated. So yeah, I figured that would be the case.
Yeah, it is. And it has all the options that you would expect on a PC. So you can go into the options of the actual Steam Deck, or you
Mhm.
could go into the options of the game itself once you're in the game and just kind of mess with all of those.
Nice.
If you're not into that, you could probably just leave everything default. But I messed around with it a bit. Upgraded textures, shadows, things like that, just to see.
Nice.
You mess with the frame rate. So I have mine capped at 60 because I don't feel like on this I need higher than 60, and I if a game allows me to go above that, I don't really want to tax the
Right.
handheld. I'll just let it.
Unnecessarily.
Yeah, why?
Yeah. That's
Um,
unnecessary.
30's rough.
On a first person
Just
shooter, yeah.
yeah, on most games 30's rough, so I try and leave it at 60. I've only seen frames drop in any sort of meaningful way for myself so far was on Valheim.
Okay.
So Valheim is a game that I jumped in with our other co-host Josh and
Hmm.
his brother. They have this insane castle that they had built. They called it Odin's Castle, but it's like up on the top of this mountain. They built the craziest structure. So
Uh,
if you don't know Valheim, it's like a survival
Type of
battle
Viking
Viking game.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. And it has this really cool graphics where it's not squared off like Minecraft, but the textures are pixelated.
Hmm.
So it has a really cool art style, but their castle was just amazing. It had like room after room after room with I mean
Don't keep saying that because I know both of them and they're gonna think this is awesome. Okay. We really
sorry
don't
about
need to
that.
give them any more
Yeah.
props about their
No, it
castle.
sucked.
Yeah,
It
thank
sucked
you.
pretty bad.
I haven't even seen it, but I bet it sucked. Okay.
Yeah, it did. It was
Yeah.
like a shack. Shack
Maybe it was like a
simulator.
Shaq Fu. That's how you know it was bad.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, Chris.
But their castle was so intricate, and they built it up on the top of like this mountain that you could only survive if you have special gear on, like coats and everything, because it was so cold. But so you got the sun rays coming through, you have all the shadowing from all their building.
Mm.
It had like a snowstorm was there, so the snow was falling all at the same time. Torches everywhere, so fires going and smoke and all that.
That's a lot of
Uh,
stuff going on at once.
yeah, so it did drop down a little bit, but I was still playable. It wasn't unplayable, but I could tell it wasn't at 60 frames anymore
Right.
in that castle.
I would just also like to point
Outside,
out real quick that this game takes place in such a rugged environment that the special gear you had to have on to survive was a jacket. I mean, you said that and
yeah.
it resonated with me that the only way
And
you
what
could
was sad was
survive.
I had already put hours into this game, and they had to give me a
Oh
jacket
my
so I
gosh.
didn't die.
Yeah, I have the game also. I don't have a jacket though,
You don't
so
have the jacket yet?
no,
Yeah, it's
not that.
crazy.
Without the
It's
jacket,
a
it's a
very
wrap.
rare item to find.
It's a wrap. It's like a rune, right? You gotta find that jacket. That's wild.
Yeah, cool game actually.
Yeah.
I really like it. How it's survival based, but there's a lot more combat to it, and you build your base up, and you learn more right schematics to build more things and
Mm.
survive.
Yeah.
And then each area, each biome, you kill a boss, and once you kill that boss, you kind of gain more knowledge to go to the next area
Mm.
that's more dangerous. It's cool.
Now that you have this,
Yeah.
you've got to play Project Zomboid with me, just so you
Okay.
can experience the mayhem that is. So
Yes.
yeah,
What type? I think we talked about it on a previous
we
podcast, but
did
what
it.
type of game is it?
So it's
Is it the
something
view
me and
down?
it's kind of an isometric view, kind of down at an angle. It's not
Okay.
really down on top. Kind of that Diablo 2, Diablo 3 type of isometric view. But it's a zombie survival game, and graphically, like right away, you're not like, oh man, this is amazing. But it's not about that. It's all about the survival and what you have to do to survive and going from house to house to house. Like I just burnt the house down because I was trying to cook something and forgot that I had it cooking. We had been in there. We had survived like 4 or 5 days, which is like a big deal, you know.
Uh-huh.
I'd been bitten. I'd nursed myself back, and we're going on runs, and it's like everything's perfect. And I left like some tuna in the oven too long and burnt the whole house down. I died in the fire. It's awesome. It's awesome. So yeah, you got to experience that now in handheld
Yeah,
mode.
we'll have
So
to do that. Well,
yes.
and it's cool because it was pretty seamless to get into another person's game to play multiplayer on
That's
this with
awesome.
someone, because Josh and his brother were both on their computers,
Right.
and I just joined them through Steam, and we
That's
did
awesome.
Steam chat through it,
Oh,
and it
that's
worked.
actually a part I didn't think about was the voice chat.
Yeah, so when we got on there, we were loading in, and I thought, oh man, how are we going to do this? So I called him, and Josh said, usually we just use Discord on the side to chat.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm on a Steam Deck, so how are we going to do this? Um, so they exited Discord, and I just invited them through Steam's chat,
Hmm.
and yeah, boom,
No
worked.
problem.
No, it was great. And then I even
Nice.
tried out, so I tried it out with no headphones,
Hmm.
just them speaking through the game.
Hmm.
The console has decent speakers for what it is,
Okay.
front-facing speakers. They actually sound pretty good. And he said he could hear me perfectly clear. But then what I tried out was I plugged in some regular headphones and actually these ones,
Uh huh.
and he could hear me, and I could hear him just great. These are wired,
Hmm.
but there is no mic on this, so I was using the mic through there. But then I switched that out and I did Bluetooth and I connected my Beats headphones
Okay.
and used the Beats mic and headphones, and he said that sounded great too.
Man. Okay.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. Like
Okay.
it sounded really cool on the Beats headphones, and
Uh,
the mic worked well, and the Bluetooth, that way I didn't have anything connected to me.
well,
It was really
yeah,
good.
that's important. And I know that the Bluetooth tech that they have in the Steam Deck is the newest model.
Mm,
The Bluetooth, like I bought some Beats 2 years ago, and I'm sorry, not Beats, Bose, and
uh-huh.
the model that I got used an older Bluetooth technology, even though they're new. And when I go to listen to something on my phone, music is fine, but if I'm watching a video, there's a delay.
Uh,
So like that drives you crazy, right?
that would get me, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool if you're able to. Man,
That would
you
get
know
me.
what? What's going on with Nintendo then? Okay,
Oh, they still, yeah.
what is that? You have to use like
I
your
don't know.
cell phone and like a wire and tin can. It's
I
the
don't know,
weirdest
man.
type of chat ever.
Yeah.
And it's and now just talking about this, the Steam Deck has all of this all inclusive, right? There's no extra fee for you to launch Steam,
Mm-hmm.
play with your friends, and be able to chat.
That's a good point. I
This
didn't
is
even think of that.
this is what it's about, right?
You aren't
Steam,
paying for the service,
no.
like Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo
That
are.
right there, that is the point to me. Steam is a free download, right? You just pay for the games and it locks
Mm-hmm.
all the games permanently to you forever, right? Which is great.
Yep. Yep.
Like I literally have games from '99 in my account still, right? We can do voice chat just fine. Like I've never really had a problem with that. Back in the day, I used to
Yeah.
use Skype, I think, but it was for non-Steam games.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need a third-party application to get voice up and running. All right. There's no yearly subscription. You're on their server. Like, what's going on right now?
I don't know. It's a really good deal for what you get with
That
this
is a
handheld.
great deal.
It's a
And
really good
you and I
deal.
both know, as well as any other PC players, the games are cheaper. How about that?
Yeah, the games are cheaper, especially when they go on sale. So I'm waiting for a sale. The I haven't found a PlayStation 5, and at this point, it's like, you know what? I have the Steam Deck. They're bringing the
Yeah.
Uncharted trilogy or something, I believe, to Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the Horizon Zero Dawn
Right.
and Forbidden West eventually. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get the God of War.
I'm
Um,
so
I'm
excited for
just,
you.
I am too. I'm so
I
excited.
am,
Right now,
man.
they're $50.
Yeah.
But it sucked because they were on sale the week I got my Steam Deck, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the memory card yet. I should have just bought the game
And
because
just
they're
had it.
$25.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
As soon as I got the card, they went back up.
the God of War, at least on the PlayStation, it's like I want to say it's 98 gigs, something like that.
Mm,
So it's a big
it's a
game.
big boy.
Yeah. Same with like Red Dead Redemption 2 is like 128 gigs,
Okay. Yeah.
like period. Right.
And that's what I'm saying.
So
If you're getting this introductory model, just be prepared that you'll delete everything off and
right.
you'll play God of War till it's done, and
Right.
then you'll delete it and go to another one.
Hey, hey, that's okay though. Play
That's
that game.
okay.
The game is
Yes.
amazing.
I'm very excited for
I'm
that.
amped for you for that and the Uncharted games as well. Like part one is kind of rough. Part two is my favorite Uncharted game. Part three is fun. I don't know if they're gonna do the last one that
It
released
was
on.
like a spin-off type of one.
No, it's a legitimate. It's the kind of the end of
Oh,
Uncharted,
okay. Okay.
but that one that debuted with the PlayStation 4's release along with like God of War. So I don't know if they'll release that one, but
Gotcha.
no
Yeah.
matter what, play the other ones though, so that you can see
Yeah.
why people like Drake. So that'll be
Yeah.
cool. Not the artist,
Yes.
right?
Got
The only
Yeah,
Drake
I'm
that matters.
excited for that. Yeah. Um, Let me talk about battery life just real quick too. On a game like Kingdom Rush, it runs like a really long time unplugged. Game like Valheim or Payday, um, it lasts 2-3 hours.
Okay,
Yeah, probably about 2 hours, and I'm playing like playing
right,
for 2 hours in a chat
right.
connected to my Bluetooth. But you could just it gives you a really nice long power cord.
Mm.
So I was sitting like quite a ways away from the wall and just left it plugged in while I played and had a good time.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I read a couple things about the battery life, and I'm like, relax, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
like at some point, right? Understand the technology that you have in your hands. Okay, it's like the
Absolutely.
people. I may have even told this story on here before. I don't think I have, but I was flying for work one time. I think I was going to Miami, and there's a guy that was just like he just could not contain himself because he wasn't able to log in to Netflix to watch whatever show. He's like, you know how long this flight is? I'm paying for it. I want to watch it. And they're like, well, we're having a problem with it. And he was not having it. And I'm like, do you realize you are traveling further than your grandparents ever could have imagined having the ability to travel? And you're upset that you can't watch, I don't know, Stranger
The
Things
clumps.
episode 4. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm like take it down a notch, right? If the battery life kind of sucks, you have a PC, a gaming PC in the palm of your hands, and you're not paying
Amazing.
monthly for anything. You know what I
Amazing.
mean? That's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. And also, right now, the Steam Deck is the number two. It probably by the end of this month, when they start rolling out the next batch, it'll be the number one hardware item on Steam that's being sold anywhere.
That's awesome.
Like they're
They're
doing something
doing
pretty
well.
fantastic for it to be going under the radar. All right?
Yeah, it kind of is. You aren't seeing a bunch of commercials for it or
No, you're not, because it's
yeah.
not one of the big three.
Yep.
But they're doing something pretty special, I think, right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's an impressive little thing, and like you said, it's basically a gaming laptop in handheld form.
Well, that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about the battery life. My excuse me, my gaming laptop. I have a 17 and a half inch gaming
Hmm.
laptop, and it's got a native 1080p. It's a IPS screen, and I mean it's like I do VR. Excuse me. I do
Through that,
VR
yeah,
on it, and like wired and wirelessly, right? Like it's a powerhouse. You better have it plugged in.
yeah.
Okay.
That sucker's gonna be dead.
Oh my gosh, man! If it's not plugged in, first off, you'll know, right? Because you'll get that pop up, and you're like, ah, now you're trying to do 100 mile an hour to go and
Pop
plug it
up in
in.
VR, yeah,
Right. So, but it's kind of what it is. When you've got the hardware needs power.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely, yep.
So,
Not a big deal.
hence the heat you're talking about too. That's why I think it's very cool that they, like you said, they had the forethought to have it raised up just a bit.
Curved, yeah,
To
yep,
suck in the cool air and everything.
yep.
Oh, very
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's very cool, and I'm enjoying myself. I'll show it one more time.
It's
No,
so
it's got
beautiful.
reflections of my kitchen in there,
No,
but
it's
and of
beautiful.
myself. But yeah, this thing, I'm really digging it.
Nice, man.
Really digging it.
There is a plethora of games that we can now jam on. So I'm pretty excited
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
we got to get together.
Yes.
Like we have to. Um, I wanted to say real quick too, when you go to the store, it's nice because it tells you if it has been tested on Steam Deck and everything works, or most of the things work, or
Mm,
nothing works, or so it'll tell you if it'll have a green check mark saying, yeah, this one's been tested, it's all good.
nice.
Oh, one more thing that I wanted to bring up. The only other problem I've had so far, and it's probably just a software bug, you can tap the power button to put it to sleep instead of shutting it down, just
Okay.
like a laptop closing your screen. When you bring it back up, there's a quick resume feature on your games. So if you're playing something that's not necessarily an online multiplayer or anything, but if you're playing something that can quick resume back, it'll pop right back up where you were. It works pretty similarly to the consoles do now. Um, the only thing I was running into is when it comes back from a quick resume, the audio would no longer work. I would have to exit the application,
Mm,
go back to the Steam desktop, go back into the game, and then the sound would start working again. And
yeah.
I messed with it a bunch and I just couldn't get the audio to work anytime I put it to sleep. So
Did you did you complain to the developers? Because I
I
feel
did
like
not.
Steam is actually pretty good about that.
I did not. I'm sure there's a way to put in a ticket on here,
Yeah, you can
or
either
just
put in a
something so they
ticket,
could see it.
go to their Discord. Actually, I mean, I've had interactions with different Steam developers on Twitter too. So I would definitely let them know. You know, maybe it's something
The bug
easily
fix.
fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But besides that, no real complaints.
Well, again, I like handhelds. Um, I'm surprised that I even picked up the Switch originally. I'm not sure why I did, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know why I did. Like my favorite is the original, you know, old school DMG Game Boy, which I have and I've restored a couple of them. Then the PSP is my next in line, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this one. Just to,
You're gonna love it.
yeah, man, I want to be part of the cool club.
You already
Gosh,
are. You
no,
already
man,
are.
I made this club. Come on, you guys kicked me out. I definitely, yeah, I'm pretty apt for it though.
Yeah, let us know in the comments too if you've gotten a Steam Deck, if you played with it, if you're looking forward to anything specific on the Steam Deck,
Or
or
if
if
you have
it's
any
not for you.
questions about it,
Yeah, please do.
now that he has one, so you
I'll
can
test it out.
direct everything.
Yeah,
We are now the testing community for the Steam Deck. So
that's right.
yeah, definitely. Again, I don't know anyone else that has one, so you would be the go-to.
Cool.
You know, I can say when I get mine, the very first thing I'm doing is installing retro games. Just want to see if I can do it.
Hey, I hope you can because
Oh
this would be really fun for
yeah.
retro
Oh,
games.
I'm I'm very sure I can pull it off. I'm pretty darn sure. It has a Linux operating system. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the first thing.
Yep. Well, when you do that and you get yours, we're definitely going to be talking about it and showing it off too.
Absolutely. Dude, could you imagine if we could play like Mario together? That would
Yeah,
be awesome.
would love it.
Oh man, I need one now. I'm just gonna sit and ponder. You go ahead and do the outro.
All right. Well, hey, like, subscribe, uh, tell your friends about us. We
Yeah.
need some more followers out there, more community. So the more, the merrier.
Yes.
We're really appreciative too of everyone that does listen to us and watch our cool little podcast so far.
We are like you know, work kind of got busy for everyone, so like that's why I haven't been on for a while. And I know Josh is at work right now, so
Yep.
you know, thanks for sticking with us, and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah. Been fun.
Yeah.
All right. We're out of here.